Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here from Walts, and we got another exciting video. Here with me is a special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, I love it. Thank you for having me, by the way. My name is Angelo. I work for AudioQuest, and yeah, it's great to be here.
I'm super happy that you were able to make the trip down, give us some training. In the training, though, I wanted to talk about some specific things. So in this video, power conditioners. Woo! So exciting.
Love it.
Yeah, the thing you put behind your entertainment center and then you completely forget about. But it's important
the foundation.
Know why it's important. So first off, we have 3 options. Is that right? For just standard, you got the G8, the PowerQuest 2, and the PowerQuest 3.
Correct. So the PowerQuest G8, the PowerQuest 2, and the PowerQuest 3. PowerQuest G8 retails at about $100. The PQ2 is at $249, and the PQ3 is roughly $399.
Okay.
Incredible units. The PQ2 and PQ3 are what's called a non-sacrificial unit, which I'm sure you're going to ask me about, so I won't get too deep into that.
Yep.
And then the G8 is a fantastic piece too.
Okay. So would you say the G8 is kind of like a starter piece for people who may not be ready to spend that much money on?
Oh, totally. Absolutely. The G8 delivers on performance, and it will also protect your gear. So what a lot of people either know or they don't know is that we need to protect our gear from surges. Owning a surge protector, being able to plug in our television, our audio solution, our video solution, whatever that might be, into it is important because we want to go ahead and protect our stuff.
Yeah, and so with that being said, what does the G8 offer that some of your standard, off the block power surge protectors, what does it offer that would make you want that over, something else?
Totally. So it has something called RFND. So there's what's called radio frequency noise dissipation, which is basically that you're minimizing noise and distortion when it comes to radio frequency out of the things that are plugged into it.
Okay.
So we're heightening performance because of that, because we're minimizing that distortion.
Right.
And it also has a really healthy joule rating at 2,160.
Okay.
You're getting an ample amount of protection, even though it's temporary protection, which we'll get into a little later as well.
Right. Okay. And also there's some indicator on there you were talking about. What is that?
Correct. So that indicator actually becomes very helpful because that indicator lets you know when it is done protecting, and also when a catastrophic overvoltage event has happened as well. So there's actually 2 indicators on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know rather than to just guess, right?
Correct, because guessing is the scariest thing of all time. You do not want to guess when it comes to your entertainment. And the story around surge protectors in general is that anything that's sacrificial has a lifespan between 1 to 3 years, or if something has a higher joule rating, between 3 and 5 years.
Okay.
So it's important that we, in this case, we have the indicator because it'll tell you when it's done protecting.
Right.
But, compared to some others, you don't know. It's a guessing game. You don't know if it's protecting today and not protecting tomorrow.
Right, and that could lead to frying your equipment, which nobody wants to go through. I mean, can you imagine if you lost $10,000 in equipment because instead of buying, $100 surge protector, you just went on Amazon and bought it for $20?
Justin, I liked you up until this point. Man, you're like trying to give me a heart attack in the chair. What? No, I don't want to think about that. But you're right. I mean, when it comes to our gear, we invest a lot of money in really awesome gear. And by a lot of money, I mean, even a $500 audio video solution is a lot of money. So you want to make sure that your equipment is protected, because the worst thing ever is to come home from a business trip, walk into your home, kick your feet up, wait for your TV to turn on, and your TV doesn't turn on, and now I got to go buy another one.
Yeah, and not to mention too, a lot of these we'll call them other brands, they don't have the same warranty and the same kind of backing that a brand like AudioQuest would have, right? So can you tell me a little bit more about what you guys, stand up for in your surge protectors or power conditioners? Conditioners.
No, of course. No, I know exactly what you're saying. So no doubt about it. I mean, the conditioners themselves have a 5-year warranty on them. So if anything happens to them, we replace them. When it comes to the PowerQuest 2 and the PowerQuest 3, they are non-sacrificial, so they won't expire, they won't die over time. And then we also have a $1 million connected equipment warranty on everything that's plugged into it as well. So if something does get by, we go ahead and stand behind our products.
Okay.
And make sure that we take care of the client too.
Right. And so I would say outside of the warranty and the equipment, in that sense, you're also getting better performance. So
no doubt.
It's a 2-in-1, and it's a one-time investment. So if you are willing to make that investment early, you're going to get your use out of it. specifically more with the PowerQuest 2 and 3 because of special things like Jules. Can you tell me a little bit more about Jules?
No doubt about it. Yeah. And when it comes to power conditioning, it very much is the foundation of any great entertainment system because you're protecting and you're also filtering. So what's really cool about the PowerQuest 2 and 3 is that in terms of joules, it's unlimited. You'll never need to replace it ever. For overvoltage events, the thing knows how to shut itself down and turn itself back on after that event is over. And then for tiny events, so think of like the lights dimming and coming back up, sort of like an inconsistency in power. We dissipate that heat. So again, there's no heat dumped on the internal mechanisms inside of the PowerQuest 2 and 3, so that the PowerQuest 2 and 3 will live forever. They'll protect forever.
Right. And if they were not to, again, warranty to back it up, where something else might not have that.
100%. But the other cool thing, and I didn't check today, but we've never had to replace a unit.
I was just about to ask you that.
We've
never
had to replace a unit.
That's awesome.
And it's been on the market for just over 5 years.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. So now tell me a little bit more about the PowerQuest 2 and the PowerQuest 3. What are the main differences? And what's best for, I guess, what would be better for which type of customer?
Sure. So the PowerQuest 2 and the PowerQuest 3, both are the same when it comes to protection because they're non-sacrificial. The biggest differentiator between the two units is that the PowerQuest 3 has an ultra-linear filter and the PowerQuest 2 has a linear filter. So the PowerQuest 2 with the linear filter removes and reduces which is known as line noise. So I think we did something really cool yesterday where we actually measured the store to see what that looked like. So that linear filter makes that electromagnetic interference noise become less. The ultra-linear filter minimizes that along with the induced radio frequency noise. So by introducing a better quality filter, we again continue to make that unwanted noise smaller and we drain it away from the client's entertainment. So that is the biggest difference on the inside. On the outside, one unit has 8 outlets versus the PowerQuest 2 has 6. So PQ3 at 8, PQ2 at 6. So depending on how many things we need to plug in, we might need to take a look at a PowerQuest 3 or even some other product in the PowerQuest family.
What if I need 9?
If you check this out, if you need 9, there's a PowerQuest 303 that gives you 12 outlets. So absolutely. So those are all great solutions because let's be honest, most of us at home, we only have 2 outlets behind the television stand. So we need more than 2 outlets. And if we're buying something to give us more outlets, we might as well make sure that it's protecting for the life of our entertainment and it's also filtering so that we heighten the performance of our gear.
Yeah, and if you have your TV just plugged into the wall and, something, let's say it surges and something goes wrong, you set yourself up for failure there, right? I mean, you don't have anything protecting
and heartbreak,
you, right? So it's almost like a little bit of an insurance plan because not only are you improving the quality and protecting your equipment, but you don't have protected equipment out of the box, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you're plugging directly into the wall, any gear that's plugged directly into the wall, that and we'll take audio video right now, but like your televisions, your streaming devices, your sound bar, your receiver, all of those devices are very susceptible to the power outage. When that power outage happens, then you hit a spike, and the stuff is just very vulnerable if it's not plugged into a conditioner to protect it. You have to protect your gear, even if you're not investing in a PowerQuest unit. Buy something to protect your gear. It's extremely important.
So on top of that, a little bit of a shift here. If we have some decisions to make, right? Let's say our system is $2,300 in total. We have a $600 soundbar and a roughly $1,600 TV. So it's like a nice OLED, it's probably 65-inch, good soundbar, decent room.
Yeah.
We want to budget some room for both cables and power conditioners. What do you think we should be prioritizing? And can you get both at, reasonable cost?
100%. I think that you can still build a really awesome foundation with a power conditioner because even our PowerQuest 2 starts at only $249.99. So that's an incredible opening price point for something that'll never need to be replaced. And then when it comes to cables, we have a price point for everybody. Now, what I would say in that instance is I would try to put between 20 and 25% of the overall budget away so that we can address those things. And that's
Right.
where awesome people like you come in, and you're able to make the appropriate recommendations because you know what the system is going to look like, you know
Right.
what the budget is, and you're protecting the gear, and then also minimizing noise and distortion, not only with the filter on the inside of the PowerQuest, but also through the cables and better build and better ingredients.
Right, and I also think too, one thing I want to add is when we were doing that test, what was that device you had that was reading the noise?
It was a line noise meter.
Line
So
noise meter.
that was
Okay.
measuring electromagnetic interference that was being generated from the outlet. Now, where that noise comes from is actually pretty cool because that noise comes from everything. So think the dimmers in the house. Think the appliances. Do you own a blender?
I do.
Think the blender. Do you own a game console? You seem like a gamer.
Yes, I do.
A PC gamer, console
Both.
gamer? Both.
Yeah.
All that generates noise. Do you have an Alexa at home?
Yeah, actually I do. It's a Google, but yeah, same thing.
Same thing. That generates noise. All of those things generate noise, and those are the kind of things that we plug directly into the outlet. So that device measured your store's noise. Do you want to tell everybody at home how noisy?
Yeah.
Do you want to let everybody know what the store is like?
Right. Yeah. So it was. And what is the? Is it decibel? Like what is the?
It's millivolts. So it
Millivolts.
was
Okay,
measuring
so
that
it was-
in millivolts.
It was a 1975 millivolts straight into the wall.
So 1,975 millivolts coming directly from the
Yes.
outlet.
Yeah, and we also did that sound test. We just keep the same song
Yep.
through all the different things, and using, I think it was a cinnamon, and then using a cinnamon with a PowerQuest 3. There was a huge difference in that millivolt. I think we read it was like in the 500s, low 500s.
Correct.
Yeah, and then we went a step further, and was that the 707?
That was the PowerQuest 707.
707. So we
Yep.
put that in there, and that dropped it all the way down to 50. And the one key takeaway from my personal experience was that there was a noticeable difference with each step.
Yeah.
So I think that you can't really go wrong unless you don't do anything at all.
Correct. Yeah, no. I could not agree more. I mean, if we tested the PowerQuest 2, there'd be a reduction. If we tested, any of the models, there's going to be a reduction. And that's why we have so many different models within a given category. So in this case, with the PowerQuest family, there's technically 6 now. So all 6 units will remove and minimize that noise and distortion and offer the protection as well. So you need something. I mean, not for anything. Back to the basic principles. You need more than 2 outlets. So you need to invest in more outlets. If we're investing in more outlets, we need something that's going to protect our gear, hopefully for the life of our gear. And then also we need something that's going to filter out that dirty power.
Right.
I'm not from Arizona. It's an awesome state, by the way. How's the power here? Like, I mean, what are we dealing with here?
I don't know, but judging by the way our store was reading, probably not too hot.
Yeah, and the East Coast is louder. So, yeah.
Okay, so I think pretty much most of my questions have been answered, but is there anything you want to kind of add that maybe we haven't covered yet?
That's a give me a high five.
All right.
Fantastic question.
Make you
So,
think a little bit.
and I love it. I think what I would add, and we've sort of hit on it within the last couple of questions, is that power conditioning is foundational. Point blank. Like it is. You're buying it hopefully one time. You're plugging things into the conditioner, so you're creating that foundation. And if you're creating that foundation, you might as well make it a great one, because by offering the protection with the unlimited joules, by introducing the filtering, it's one less thing to worry about. And you can really build off of that, because in the grand scheme of things, think about how often we may make improvements to our awesome hi-fi system, or we may make improvements to our awesome theater. Gradually we'll go in and we'll make those adjustments. We'll look to upgrade things because we're all chasing this incredible performance, this entertainment performance. Right. So I, at least personally, always want to know that I at least have one thing covered for life. I don't need to worry about going in and replacing that down the road.
Yeah, no, that's super awesome. I think that's pretty much everything.
Awesome.
As far as power and conditioners. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comment section. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe. And once again, thank you for taking the time to sit down with me.
Thank you. Always fun.
Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. If this is a product that you're interested, make sure to email me at youtube@walts so I can get you a special YouTube discount. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like these, and we'll see you in the next one.